Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and finally Redfin has updated their weekly housing market update. They were late on it for this week, you guys. That's why I'm a little bit late on reviewing this with you. And here's the thing. This report is absolutely wonderful. We have a continuation of price decline. We have a continuation of supply increases, continuation of demand decrease, and a price cut increase as well. So absolutely wonderful stuff to go over today. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Now, the name of this Redfin article is titled Housing Market Update. The typical U.S. homebuyer's monthly payment is up nearly 20% from a year ago as prices rise. And let's be real, you guys, when we read a headline like that, it makes it seem like there's nothing wrong with the housing market, and it makes it seem like prices are only going up. But the reality is when we follow this data, the 4-week rolling average of median sales price, it gives us an ability to keep our hands to the pulse of the housing market. Essentially, if you're paying attention, typically we're 1, 2, 3 months ahead of most of the media. So definitely watch this data set and also understand that really what matters and what really should matter to you is what's going on in your own local housing market. But today we're going to get an overall look of the big picture. I find it so typical, the continuation of this bullish narrative. Again, they have no mention in here that median sales price has declined for 4 weeks straight. No mention in that in this entire article. The median U.S. home price is up 3.2% year over year, the biggest increase since November, and mortgage rates remain elevated. And again, you guys, 3.2% up year over year. Oh my gosh, home values are still going up, right? No, they're looking at year over year. If you guys want to look at year over year, you're going to have to wait a year to know what's going on right now. So year over year data, although it is important in a balanced housing market as far as investing specifically, is not something that is really helpful right now. Let's go on. The typical U.S. homebuyer's mortgage payment is $2,605. Insane. People cannot afford these prices. It is not sustainable. The run-up was not built on fundamentals. Home prices are increasing because of the mismatch between supply and demand. High mortgage rates have pushed many would-be sellers out of the market, with homeowners hanging on to their relatively low rates. The total number of homes for sale is down 19%, the biggest drop in a year and a half, and new listings are down 21%. Now, as we go through this report, I'm also going to go into the laws of supply and demand, because the thing is, this is the bullish narrative, okay? They're like, rules of supply and demand, that's all I care about. It's just the rules of supply and demand. Even though there are outliers that break the rules of supply and demand, that's okay. I already made a video on that. But what I wanted to tell you guys is right now we have the elements in place for inventory to go up and prices to go down as far as the rule of supply and demand. And this is what I mean. Inventory is sustained, meaning it has been the same. So long as we have that demand decrease, which we have, and I'll show you that in a minute, naturally, according to the laws of supply and demand, the next thing is supply will go up and prices will go down. Now, before I get into that, let's go over the leading indicators. So mortgage interest rates average of 6.9%. Right now, the average is over 7%, and that's with great credit. So home buyers right now, if they're actively looking, are getting absolutely destroyed with these interest rates and the prices. Now, applications are down 3% week over week and a whopping 26% year over year. I feel that in my own industry as a mortgage professional. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Redfin home buying demand, okay, is down 4% from a month earlier and down 4% from a year earlier, and is at a 4-year low. I will show you that in a minute. And again, a 4-year August low. Google searches is down 16% from a year ago. Touring activity is up 8% from the start of the year, but a 5% decrease year over year. And when we go down here, you guys, and we look at median sales price, I have highlighted this. This has declined once again. The average median sales price is $380,250. So in other words, the fact that prices are going down, supply is going up is a beautiful thing. And again, this is not what we're seeing on the internet, on YouTube, and on the media. No one Absolutely no one is covering this data because they're reviewing lagging data. You guys, I'm trying to explain. Redfin's entire housing market report is based on the 4-week rolling average of median sales price. So very important to review. Let's now hop into visualizing some of this data and talk a little bit more about the rules of supply and demand. Let's start with median sales price. You can see that, yes, it is up 3.2% year over year, but it is down for 4 weeks straight. You can see that home values is heading downward. Now, this year, again, on average, okay, so the peak this year was actually at the end of June, right here with the median sales price average until they revise it. And they did revise last year's multiple times. But we peaked this year, again, looking at the 4-week rolling average, we peaked already at 383,000. We have been going down for 4 weeks straight, making it the first full month of average median sales price decline. Okay, again, not in every metro area, but we saw the same thing last year happen. I also want to point out that last year's record was about right here. So last year's record, again, they have changed this. It was about 389,000. So we couldn't even break through the last year's record, y'all, on average. So how is the housing market healthy if we couldn't break that in the face of insane, absolutely insane home buying incentives right now, again, from the builders? Now, here's what I think is going to continue to happen to this line. You know, I'm not sure necessarily the trajectory, but I believe we're going to head somewhere right down here, basically ending the year with negative year over year price decline. And again, if that happens, essentially from an equity standpoint, anyone that purchased from May 2021 on is more than likely upside down in their house. In a normal housing market, home values do go up steadily. So in a normal housing market, y'all won't see fluctuations like this. Another beautiful set of data, you guys. This is what Johnny loves to review. This is the median asking price, and we are seeing a substantial decline in median asking price. This is especially good because median asking price, obviously we cover this all the time, leads median sales price. And really what we want is we want median asking price to be under the red line. But right now, you guys can see right in here, it's slightly over. And it's okay that it's slightly over because it has the same trajectory as last year. And that's really important to understand because we need prices to go down. So the fact that we're seeing that happen, again, gives us the ability to stay in front of the herd. Really, you guys, here's the thing that's so unsustainable. On top of the equity run up, housing payments right now are astronomical. In fact, homes are 19% more expensive than last year. You guys can see that in this gap right here. So that's the gap in payments, huge gap in payments, but it does not compare to the gap in mortgage payments from 2021 to 2022. So we have massive gaps in unaffordability. So when we see this happen, we know that the Federal Reserve is manipulating and messing with the market behind the scenes. This is unhealthy. We can see a healthy difference in payment when we look at the difference between 2021 and 2020. That is a more realistic adjustment in payments. That is something that wages can keep up with. But I'll tell you guys, wages cannot keep up with the difference in 2021 to current. That is a huge difference in affordability, you guys. And again, affordability, or rather the lack thereof, is the leading catalyst right now in this housing market. Now, as far as like black swan events, you guys know I've been saying this from the very beginning. I believe that new construction will lead price decline, but other important things to watch is also the long-term rental market, commercial real estate, and things of that nature. Let's hop back into the charts. All right, so pending sales are down 14% year over year. This marks a 4-year low as well as far as August. So we're at a 4-year low as pending sales. I mean, the housing market is unraveling right before our eyes. I still don't understand, y'all, how some people still don't know that. This is the new listings of homes, and unfortunately, this is down 21.3% year over year. Now, the hypothesis on why this is down so much is called essentially the lock-in effect or the golden handcuff effect. Basically meaning that there are several homeowners, a whole bunch of homeowners Again, so long as they purchased prior to 2022 that are sitting at interest rates at 3 and 4%, they simply cannot afford to sell. And we see that when it comes to new listings of homes. This is an even more important data set. This is the total active listings of homes for sale. And you guys can see we're sitting at 761,000. I have a bet with 3 of my subscribers and viewers that we're going to hit 1 million sometime before the year's end. And I got to tell you guys, I am not liking the trajectory of inventory right now. It is possible that we have a surge towards year end like we did last year, but right now we're only sitting at 761,000 active units. So that's fairly low. But again, here's the thing. Let's talk about the rules of supply and demand. So essentially, inventory has stayed the same all year. Okay, do you see that? Okay, so inventory has been sustained for the entire year, which means we are only missing one thing when we talk about the laws of supply and demand, as far as inventory going up and prices going down. The one thing is demand. As demand continues to go down, the housing market will naturally crash, or rather reset. However, we do see months of supply starting to skyrocket. And you guys remember I called that about right here when we had our first week of trend up in inventory. So do you guys see how, like, if we really watch this week over week data, we can stay well ahead of most everyone else? I mean, we called this when it happened. And now we've had what? Over 4 weeks of increase in supply. You guys, we're sitting at 2.9 months. So congratulations. That means there's a lot more selection and options heading to the market. And look at the trajectory. Massive trajectory upward. And again, what we want is 6 months. We started the year way up here at 4.5 months. We started so high, but unfortunately, all of that supply got purchased. A lot of it got purchased. It took us down to in the 2s as far as months of supply. Again, you guys, more than likely, this is going to trend up. In fact, and listen to me, here's how we know that things can change quickly and I can still win my dollar bet. We are at a 4-year high in August as far as months of supply. Again, we have more months of supply right now than we did last year. Again, 4-year high. Absolutely wonderful news. And finally, the bidding wars are starting to go down. You can see that trajectory kind of round off right there. That is really important, y'all, because the bidding wars is basically the emotional aspect of what's been driving the prices of houses up. We really need homeowners, specifically first-time homeowners or anyone really that's purchasing the primary residence, to probably do a better job using the data to find the deal. But right now, as far as the bidding wars, that's down to 36% of homes. So over 1 in 3 houses right now are selling above the final list price. So it is an example of bidding wars. Again, that's plateauing down. Another great data set. And take a look at this, you guys. Price cuts. Do y'all remember me saying that this is going to skyrocket as well? We're now at 5.8% of listings having price cuts. That is massive. And look at the trajectory. This is so important. This is showing us that those 7% interest rates, which I've been saying we need rates in the 7%, residential mortgage rates, this is showing us through this data that it's finally hitting people right in the guts. Okay, it's hitting people in the guts. People are starting to figure out that in order to sell their houses, these insane buying incentives are no longer working. We need prices to go down and affordability to be more balanced. But I do hope that it will go above this red line right here. If it goes above that red line, it gives me a higher probability of winning my dollar at the end of this year. Also, another interesting set of data, the average home sold for its final listing price. So again, this is telling me this is not showing us that there's a buyer's market. But the good thing is, guys, is again, this is plateauing, just like the bidding wars. You can kind of see it start to plateau, and hopefully it will start shooting downward just like it did last year. Now, here is the missing piece of the pie as far as the argument with the laws of supply and demand. And again, as long as we have sustained inventory, which has been the same pretty much this whole year, if demand goes down, the law of supply and demand says supply goes up, prices go down. And take a look at this. Redfin home buying demand is sitting right here. This is a 4-year low for August. We haven't had this decrease in demand in over 4 years. This is a great thing to witness, because again, this is what we need to start having those laws of supply and demand work in our favor. Now, other than that, you guys, that's your Redfin weekly housing market update. I hope you guys loved it. Do me a favor, just one more time, like this video and share it and shoot a comment below. I would greatly appreciate that. But other than that, I really hope you guys got some new insights, value, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.